Hi everyone, my name is Alan. I'm a photographer based in Kuching, Sarawak. Today I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why we should print our photos. So before I begin, when I first started photography back in early 2000 when I was still in the uni, transitioning from there to later in that decade, I've seen transitional period from printing photos to not so much of printing photos. That was the time where digital photography is starting to pick up, at least here in Malaysia. And I remember when I first transitioned from film camera to a consumer digital camera, and later on to my first DSLR. When we shoot with film, we have to print. Otherwise, there's no way we can see the photos that we've taken. But when you shoot in digital camera, it is instantaneous. You click, you check at the back of the screen, there you go. That's the photo. And you don't have to go through the wait of sending the films to lab to be processed and having it come back to check only that few photos, maybe a roll or 2 photos from the film. So that's the transition from developing film and printing them in a form of 4 hours and 3 hours back then earlier, and to viewing our photos in the on screen. So this carried on to when I went into wedding day photography, where initially I would include 100 200 prints of 4-hour photos for my clients. And when photo book was first introduced around that time, I would try to get my clients to print in photo books. Photo books were great. It was a bit different. It is inside, in terms of physical size, it is very suitable to be used as a coffee table album, where you can bring it out and just to share with your friends and family, your guests, whenever you host a gathering. It is fine until a time where people start coming to me and say, "Hey, Alan, maybe do you have a non-print option? We just want digital files only." So I always encourage people to print their photos out because it looks great. But since that there are so many requests, I gave in and I said, "Hey, okay, fine. This is how I do it, and digital files only." That went on for years and years and years until now. So maybe they would bring the digital files back, and then they would just send the files to print themselves, or maybe not. From what I learned is some of them they would just bring the digital files only and just copy to their hard disk and let it sit there. Maybe the first month they would browse through, upload to social media, upload everything to the social media, and I think maybe that's about it. So now moving on, here are the 5 reasons why we should print our photos. Number 1, so in my opinion, photographs are always better presented when it's printed out. And photographs are always time capsules to us. Everything that you see in a frame of image, it is a time evidence of things, like how the fashion tells you what era it was from, the hairstyle tells you what era it was from. Photography is always a interesting time capsule. Number 2, sharing. When we print out photos, it is a good way for us to share with our friends and family. So imagine this, I curate and print all my photos from my holiday, my vacations, or even my wedding day or my newborn. I curate them and presented, pick the best or my most favorite images and presented them in one book. And it's easy for me to flip it and share and tell stories, whatever that story may be. So sharing is caring. That's one of the better ways to share, instead of bringing your iPad, your phone. Our phone screen may be bigger now, but there's only limit to the size that you can view. And viewing photograph on screen, honestly, I feel that it's different, a lot different from viewing photograph on a printed media. Now, number 3, printed photos can be a good form of home decoration. You can print photos. When you print out photos, regardless what medium you are using, it can be on a photo paper, it can be on canvas, or it can even be other options like plates. You can decide how you want to frame it, or you can choose a series of photos for your canvas, and you arrange it. It can be a very nice series of wall art, and then you just hang it on the wall, like the wall behind me, or you can hang it somewhere in the kitchen, anywhere. It can be a very good piece of decoration at your home. Now, number 4. So printed photographs are tangible memories. What it means is we want to document our memories so that we can remember what we have gone through in our lives. And with such, tangible memories can also be a good conversation starter. For example, if I host a gathering at my house, or my friends or family will come by and then sit, and then they look at a photograph, hanging at the wall or by the kitchen. They'll probably ask like, when was this taken? Where was this taken? And that's a good way for us to start conversations, start a story. And that's how I believe, it is a good bonding session between our friends and family and ourselves. And why not? It's always good to connect people anytime. Lastly, number 5, I believe it is worth it when you print it out. The satisfactory level is different. So recently, my clients came to me and said, hey, we wanted to do a family portrait. So I said, great, where would you like to do? I proposed a few places, but their choices are a bit out of the norm. They chose a place where people would not think of. Then I was curious, so I asked why? Why this location? Then they said, it's because we have had good memories there. Our elderly parents spent a lot of their earlier days in that area, so we want to bring them and to recreate that memory and have it framed. And that essentially is one of the tangible memories. Okay. So the other case is one of my clients which have done their family portraits recently. They've decided to order a large print. They went with a 24 times 36 inch in terms of size. So when that print came out, I felt I was genuinely stunned myself, because I've never seen my own work printed that big, because that size is my largest print I've ordered so far. And thank you for the customer for being supportive. So when I brought that print over to the frame maker for the frames, the other customers who were there, when they saw the print, they were like, wow, that's very nice. Where did you print it? That's a very nice photo. I said, that's how a conversation started, and then we just talked a little bit about the photograph and printing and photography. So it's good way for us to connect to other people. And there we go. That is 5 reasons why I feel we should print our photos out, and there are many more reasons that we should. I don't see why we shouldn't. So if you are not printing photograph already, by all means go and look for your most favorite photos and have them print out. Hang them in the wall, curate them and print them in a form of photo book. You enjoy it. I promise you'll enjoy it. Okay, that is all for now. So if you like what I've shared today, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this to your friend if you think it's useful to them. If you want to book a session with me for photography, you are most welcome. You can find me in my links in the description below through my social media. I look forward to seeing you. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.